What if I told you the strongest plant food on earth is hiding in your kitchen trash right now? And that commercial fertilizer companies don't want you knowing about these 3 ingredients that cost absolutely nothing? Stick around, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you feed your plants, and your wallet will thank you. Hey there, green thumbs. Welcome back to Garden Mentor, where we prove that amazing gardens don't require expensive solutions. If you're new here, you've just stumbled onto the channel that helps everyday folks like us grow stunning gardens without emptying our pockets. I'm thrilled you're here, and trust me, today's secrets are absolute game changers. Before we dig into these incredible fertilizer hacks, do me a quick favor. Smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Why? Because I drop wallet-friendly garden wisdom every single week, and you won't want to miss what's coming. All right, let's get into the good stuff. So here's the thing about plant nutrition that nobody talks about. Your garden doesn't need fancy bottles with complicated chemical names. Plants have been thriving for millions of years without commercial products, right? What they actually crave are 3 simple elements: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. The secret isn't buying these, it's knowing where to find them for free. And I'm about to show you sources so powerful, your neighbors will think you hired a professional gardener. Let me start with something that sounds absolutely wild, but I promise it works miracles. Coffee grounds. Yeah, that leftover sludge from your morning brew? Pure gold for your soil. But here's where most people mess up. They just dump it on top and wonder why nothing happens. The real technique involves mixing it with dried leaves at a 2-to-1 ratio. This combination creates a slow-release nitrogen bomb that feeds your plants for months. I started doing this last spring, and my tomatoes grew so massive, people thought I was using steroids on them. Next up, let's talk about something you're literally throwing away every single day: banana peels. Now, I know you've probably heard this before, but forget everything you think you know. The common method of just burying them whole? That's amateur hour. Here's the professional move. Slice those peels into tiny pieces, soak them in water for 48 hours, and you've created what I call potassium tea. This liquid is basically rocket fuel for flowering plants. Roses, peppers, flowering shrubs, anything that produces blooms or fruit goes absolutely crazy for this stuff. Pour 1 cup around the base every 2 weeks during growing season, and prepare to be amazed. Now, this next one might make you uncomfortable at first, but stick with me because the results are undeniable. Your own urine. Yes, I said it. Human urine is packed with nitrogen and is sterile when it leaves your body. Gardeners have been using this secret weapon for centuries, but modern society made it taboo. Here's the safe way to use it. Dilute it with water at a 1-to-10 ratio. 1 part urine, 10 parts water. Apply it to the soil around your plants, never on the leaves. This works especially well for leafy greens like lettuce, kale, and spinach. My kale patch last year, absolutely explosive growth, and I spent $0 on nitrogen fertilizer. Quick pause here. If you're finding this valuable and thinking, wow, this is actually useful, go ahead and hit that like button right now. It helps this video reach more gardeners who need these tips. And drop a comment telling me which of these secrets surprised you most. I read every single one, and your feedback helps me create better content for you. All right, let's keep rolling because the next 3 are even better. Eggshells, but not the way you think. Most folks crush them up and sprinkle them on soil, then wait forever for results. The problem? Eggshells break down incredibly slowly. The hack that actually works? Bake them in your oven at 200 degrees for 10 minutes until they're bone dry and brittle. Then pulverize them into a fine powder using a coffee grinder or blender. This powder dissolves way faster and delivers calcium straight to your plants. Tomatoes, peppers, and squash are calcium addicts, and this prevents blossom and rot like magic. I keep a jar of eggshell powder in my garden shed year-round. Here's something that sounds too simple to work, but it's devastatingly effective. Grass clippings. When you mow your lawn, you're creating a nitrogen-rich resource that most people bag up and throw away. Criminal, honestly. Fresh grass clippings spread around your plants as mulch break down quickly and feed the soil. But here's the critical tip: spread them thin. A thick mat of grass will turn into a slimy, smelly mess. Keep it to about 1 inch thick and let it dry out slightly before applying. This also suppresses weeds and retains moisture. 3 benefits from yard waste you were literally paying to have hauled away. Wood ash from your fireplace or fire pit is an absolute powerhouse for vegetable gardens. It's loaded with potassium and raises soil pH, which is perfect if you've got acidic soil. But warning, a little goes a long way. Too much will make your soil too alkaline. Use about 1 pound per 100 square feet, sprinkled and worked into the soil once per year. Never use ash from treated wood, painted wood, or anything with chemicals. Only natural, untreated wood. My root vegetables, carrots, beets, potatoes, they absolutely thrive when I add wood ash in early spring. Aquarium water. If you've got a fish tank, you're sitting on liquid gold. That dirty water you siphon out during tank cleaning? It's full of nitrogen from fish waste, plus beneficial bacteria. Don't dump it down the drain, dump it on your plants instead. It's perfectly balanced, already dissolved, and your plants can absorb it immediately. I know someone who maintains a small aquarium specifically for this purpose. They grow the most lush, vibrant houseplants I've ever seen, and they haven't bought fertilizer in 5 years. All right, bonus round because you've made it this far, and I want to reward your commitment. Seaweed. If you live anywhere near a coast, you have access to one of nature's most complete fertilizers. Collect seaweed from the beach, rinse off the salt, and either chop it up to add directly to soil or soak it in water to make a nutrient tea. Seaweed contains over 60 trace minerals plus natural growth hormones. It's what commercial products like kelp meal are made from, except you're getting it free. Even if you're landlocked, some garden centers sell dried kelp that's still way cheaper than synthetic fertilizers. Now, here's how to actually use all this information without getting overwhelmed. Pick 2 or 3 of these methods that make sense for your situation. If you drink coffee daily, start there. If you eat bananas regularly, make the potassium tea. Don't try to implement everything at once. The beauty of these natural approaches is they're nearly impossible to overdo, unlike chemical fertilizers that can burn plants. Start slow, observe your plant's response, and adjust. Gardening is experimentation, and these free methods let you experiment without financial risk. I know some of you are thinking, but will this really work as well as store-bought fertilizer? Fair question. Here's my honest answer. These natural methods work incredibly well, but they work differently. Chemical fertilizers give you a quick jolt. Plants green up fast, but the effect is temporary. Natural amendments build soil health over time, creating a sustainable system where plants actually get stronger and more disease-resistant. You're not just feeding plants, you're feeding the soil ecosystem. That's the difference between a quick fix and a lasting solution. The most satisfying part of gardening this way, you're closing loops. That coffee that woke you up this morning now feeds your tomatoes. Those banana peels from your breakfast smoothie now power your roses. You're turning waste into abundance, spending nothing, and growing healthier food. Plus, you're building genuine soil health instead of creating dependency on products. This is how gardening used to be done, before corporations convinced us we needed a different bottle for every problem. If this video opened your eyes to what's possible in your own garden, make sure you're subscribed, because I've got so much more coming your way. Next week, I'm covering pest control methods that cost pennies and work better than chemical sprays. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this, and seriously, drop a comment. Tell me which of these fertilizer secrets you're trying first. Your engagement helps this channel grow, which means I can keep bringing you this content. And hey, if you know another gardener who'd benefit from these tips, share this video with them. Let's spread the knowledge. Thanks so much for spending your time with me today. Remember, the best garden isn't the one that costs the most. It's the one that grows from knowledge, patience, and a little creativity. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep growing, keep learning, and keep it budget-friendly. Happy gardening!